We will give more attention to the Odell Beckham Jr. return in the next hour. Because up to this point, I don't think we've given enough attention to OBJ coming back. But that being said, big fella, that being said, who will have a better day today? Terry McLaurin or Stephon Diggs?
Well, this is less about scary Terry McLaurin up against Stephon Diggs, but more so for me, Stephon Diggs up against that Washington defense. Listen, the Washington football team, their defense has been giving up some yards to receivers, and they are 29th in the league when it comes to giving up receptions. Why does this correlate? Because we know how much Josh Allen loves to target Stephon Diggs. So that relationship right there, Stephon Diggs being a true number one, we know about his stats last year, leading the league in catches and yards. This is going to be a big game for Diggs. I know he hasn't really got off to the fastest of starts, but trust me, he's just scratching the surface.
Week 1 and 2, Diggs was under 70 yards. And week 2, Terry McLaurin went over 100 yards. He's never had back-to-back 100-yard games, and I think this will be his time. Nate, you said something, Nate. Everybody talking about receiving attention, give attention. They give attention to Stephon Diggs. I mean, all kind of defenders are all over him, and that shall continue to be the situation today. I'm going Terry McLaurin.
That's valid. I hear you on that. Listen, so let's talk about a bounce-back game. A couple of squads that have been receiving attention, Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Who will have a bounce-back game in this matchup?
In what we would call the old Nate Burleson Bowl. That's right.
That's right.
The old Nate Burleson Bowl. Listen, what I do know is what we inferred, right? What we infer. I go back and I look at some, okay, who can have a great game here? And then I look and say, oh, Kyler Murray really hurt this team. So Seattle could have a big game. This right here, they just got Derrick Henry. That's okay. Don't worry about that. Seattle will bounce back because, boy, Russel Wilson reminds you a lot of Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray threw for 4 bills. So Russel Wilson may give his third 400-yard passing day today.
Talk about it, 4 bills. That's like you. That's how much you had in your pocket back in the 90s when you was walking around kicking it. But here's the thing. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks as well. Not only is he athletic, can he use his legs, he extends the plays. And who is the recipient of that? Tyler Lockett. The receivers for Seattle. Those are the guys that are going to make this thing go. We know that Russell Wilson is a man. As long as he takes care of the ball, they're going to take care of business, and Seattle Seahawks will leave with a victory.
Nate, they got to get DK Metcalf more involved. Now, I saw something going on the sideline the other day. And I love people always talk about he's so quiet. Not when you're not throwing balls to people. When you don't get the ball. Every receiver talks a lot when they want to receive attention, if you know what I mean.
That's real talk. You said it best.
All right, now let's go over to my boy Rich.
Thank you. My Lexus. All right, gents, not going to lie. It's the last chance to get one right in the month of September for 2021. So let's get one right.
I got one this time.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so listen to me, Kurt. Guess who has the record for the lowest?
Oh,
yeah. For the lowest passer rating against the Bucs for a quarterback in his career, minimum of 5 games.
Yeah, that would be me.
Give me one of these. That would be Kurt Warner.
I didn't see that in the trailer.
Didn't make the show on Christmas. 54.1. Warren Sapp's watching you right now going, yeah, I got you over there.
That defense
54.
was good.
You know what? Let me use this right here as an eye patch. Buckos really made you walk the plank, mate. And you know what? Well, today, the Rams quarterback, right, Matthew Stafford, he's going to batten down the hatches. But you know what? I'm not going to smash your record.
Okay.
You're going to keep this record, Kurt, for a long, long time. Because Matthew Stafford is going to double it, not 54. He's going to have 108 passer rating, play real good against these guys. And that's going to be my bold prediction that we get right for the first time.
He's going to have 108.
108.2 or better. Okay? Which is twice as good as your record.
Which is something that he's done 44 times in his career.
The Bucs,
44 times in his career.
If you're going to say he's exactly going to have 108, and that's that.
I mean, that's a bold prediction. 108 passer rating.
Are you the commissioner? Okay, exactly 108.2.
Exactly. Okay, exactly. That's hit that number. Okay, I can take exactly.
I can take exactly. Please get it right.
You're so negative. Why don't you give people some more love? That's what I think you ought to do, especially in bold predictions. Anyways, all right, back in 2019. 2019, Jameis Winston, Jared Goff, 2 #1 picks, went at it. They threw for 902 yards, which is a record for 2 #1 picks. Well, today we got Kyler Murray, we got Trevor Lawrence going head-to-head. I say that they smash that record and throw for over 903 yards.
Positive.
Combined today.
Unless you're playing defense in Jacksonville.
But defense, who cares about defense?
Fired.
Listen, class, for those of you that are following, I've already talked to you about the difference between implying and inferring. Implying is just coming from nowhere. Inferring is gathering information and deducing. Here is what we call implying. That's exactly what we're doing, right?
That's exactly what we're doing. Hey, Twitter,
right?
Listen to what he said. We're implying.
Because this is coming from nowhere. And I say today.
Nice.
Truth.
I like it.
Aaron Rodgers will throw 6 TDs today. Woo. 6 TDs, moving him a sole possession, fifth place on the all-time passing TD list, one behind his man, Brett Favre. That's what I'm implying right now.
Very question, right? So we'll see what the scheme looks like with Justin Fields out there later today, and perhaps that could be helpful to avoid the Browns' defense. The question is what are his major obstacles short of scheme today, Steve?
Well, here's the thing. His obstacle will be if he tries to do too much, Rich. At Ohio State, he was the man. He was the leader. He was the star. Everything was on his shoulders, all right? He got all the offense, and everything relied on his expertise. But that's not the case right now. He's going to be the newcomer, and it's just got to play the position. If I were the coach, if I were Matt Nagy, and I'm sure he's had this conversation, I had a situation when Steve Young and Jeff Brom got hurt with the Niners, and Jim Druckenmiller had a play, and he was a rookie. Remember Druckenmiller? All right, I had him stand up in the team meeting night before the game. I said, look around. Druck, look around. I don't know who was more nervous, me or him.
Right.
But you know what? I said, your teammates right here are going to help you win this game. You don't need to be the hero. And I'm sure Matt Nagy is talking to him about that too. Just, hey, don't take any chances. Do what you can do. Play like you know how to play. And this team is going to help you win this game.
And he always has that phrase on his play sheet, be you. So,
be you.
But not all of you sometimes, right? Just be just enough of you.
He doesn't have to be that dynamic and take chances and turn the ball over, that type of thing. He'll play fine.
Well, this whole thing reeks of smells of a players-only conversation presented by Geico. Kurt, Michael, Nate Burleson, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Rich. And we all know what the fans are thinking on the outside with Justin Fields coming in. They're all excited about the #1 draft pick, getting his opportunity to start. But now I want to go inside the locker room because I know it doesn't always match what the fans feel when a new guy or a new quarterback is playing. So, Nate, I want to start with you and take me through a time where you had a new quarterback start, and what was that feeling like in the locker room?
Well, thinking about Justin Fields, if I'm a wide receiver for the Chicago Bears, we understand that he's going to allow you to run secondary routes because he is going to use athleticism. So when I start thinking about that, adjusting to your backup quarterback, I'm going back all the way to my rookie season when the Minnesota Vikings had Dante Culpepper at quarterback, and he went down and in came Gus Frerotte. Now, Gus Frerotte, he's athletic. He can use his legs, but he's a traditional quarterback. He wanted to drop back and throw that rock. I scored my first touchdown catching the ball from him. Up against the 49ers, I knew that I needed to be exactly where he wanted me to be because he wouldn't necessarily allow me to run secondary routes. We didn't put scramble rules in because Gus Frerotte was our quarterback. So what does that mean? When you have a backup quarterback, understand his skill set, and if you adjust on game day, you'll get the rock.
Yeah, and 80 years, you know, you had different skill sets at quarterbacks, and there's an adjustment. You know, my situation is like I had such a great relationship with Troy. You know, there's a lot of nonverbal communication that goes on between Troy and I. And then when Troy goes down and I finally stop looking at that locker room like, is he coming out? Is he coming out? And find out he's not coming to play today, I had to focus on playing with the backup guys, Coach Garrett, Jason Garrett, or Steve Berline. But one of the things I've noticed when I'm playing with these guys, I had so much more communication in the huddle, talking. Like, listen, when I do this, I'm doing this. If you see this, things I never had to talk about with Troy. He just knew. And those situations I found interesting. And one last thing, too, whenever you change quarterbacks, whatever makes it difficult. If one quarterback is a right-hand quarterback and the other's a left-hand quarterback, oh, that would mess with me like I don't know what, but we don't have that situation.
Well, the bottom line that I hear from both you guys is it really depends on who you're replacing. right? When the next guy's coming in, who you're replacing Troy Aikman, now the locker room's going to feel a certain way about it. In Chicago, now you're replacing Andy Dalton. How does the locker room see that? What are we replacing with Justin Fields as opposed to what we had with Andy Dalton? I mean, I go back to my time in 1999. I mean, let's be honest. You know, everybody was going, come on, really? Trent has to go down? We got to play with this guy? You know, that's what everybody was thinking because we had an established guy and we were going to someone that wasn't established. And so mindset is so important here. So I'm excited to see what the Chicago Bears team comes out and looks like. Like, are they pumped up? Because, like, man, we got our draft pick, and as Nate, you said, plays a little bit different than Andy Dalton. Maybe he gives us something a little bit extra that Andy Dalton didn't give us. Or are they looking at it from a